Hi, it's Annie Simon. I'm doing a video diary, and I try to do something different um, every time with regard to the presentation. Tonight, Bill and I had a nice karaoke evening where, he got to show off, and I called him the star of the show, and I was merely the hostess of the show. I have to feed his ego, you see. So I'm taking a walk down the street where I live in Echo Park, and I'm all dressed up for our karaoke evening. I told him, we don't go out to elegant places anymore, so I bring the elegance to you. And he thought I was dressed rather elegantly, and he was right. Today I made some milestones in my progress to undo the damage that lies and ego and PTSD and psychopathic narcissism possessed my boyfriend, of course, not me. This is a sign that I put on this telephone pole asking for anyone who wishes to be a temporary safe house. I'm talking an hour in this neighborhood, because domestic violence is here in the neighborhood, and I announced that and put it on 2 telephone poles right outside my house. He saw both of them and laughed. I have 2 signs and very colorful rainbow letters right on my front patio that say, this is a zero tolerance zone for domestic violence. Any violence. Doesn't matter if it's domestic or what. This is the go-to spot for those who want to view the gorgeous skyline of Los Angeles. So I am walking down here to make it a part of my daily diary because I have an incredible view. Unfortunately, it's marred by the ever-present element of blackmail and scare tactics. And here's the skyline behind me. It is marvelous, is it not? Don't know if the phone can focus on that. I hope so. So anyway, usually take a walk this time of night, but I'm a little dressed up for that. So I thought I would climb that hill over there. It's really a tough one, but not impossible. All kinds of cars go cruising up around here every night. And almost every night there's a film crew for some movie or some commercial of some sort. Hellman's Mayonnaise was here the other day, and I welcomed them with open arms. I think I'm going to go up the hill. There's a bunch of cars up there. I don't know who's in them, but I made some progress today, okay? I did start out saying that. I began writing the legal brief for a lawsuit enumerating all of the constitutional rights, the civil rights, the disability rights, and the human rights that have been violated by the LAPD, the city attorney, the public defender's office, and who else? Just about everyone I've come in contact with, that's who else. Everyone in authority, and everyone who's not in authority. Just everyone, So, I began a legal brief, and the more research I did, the more violated I realized I had become. Violated by authorities on every level. Okay? Every fucking level. I'm gonna sit on this stone wall and rest for a second, because this is a very steep hill. At the top of the hill, you have a bunch of, people who are enjoying the view, as we have just done and will continue to do throughout my video. I'm sitting outside a house on White Knoll, where Bill used to live, with a woman named Leonora, whom he harshly evicted from the house due to the fact that she had so many animals and couldn't take care of them all. And one of them was a big dog who attacked someone, I guess. And Bill can't stop telling the story of how he had to rescue some woman by taking on the challenge of taking the dog and stabbing it to death. And he loves to talk about that. 20 times with a knife. I risked my life, covered in blood, and the cops came. He loves to tell these horrible, macabre stories. And I just look at him like, don't you realize I've heard that story, that awful fucking story, 29 times. Every time the word White Knoll comes up, you have to tell me how you murdered a pit bull or whatever it was. He knows I hate to hear the stories. He knows I hate all violence and all morbid stories that he loves to tell. He's obsessed with them. I truly believe he's trying to scare me into silence, so that I will think that since he's capable of all that violence and loves killing and bloodshed, that I'd better not ever cross him in any way, because he could hurt me. Lately he's been hurting me. Nothing major, but I read in one of my research internet websites that police are supposed to be trained to realize that if a woman reports having been strangled, even not strangled to death, but a strangling in a threatening, aggressive, violent way, that she was able to survive somehow, that is a clear indicator of the probability that this perpetrator is most likely capable of murdering her, and probably will. So what happened to me on Eastern Drive in Beverly Hills just over a year ago was a strangulation that lasted 45 minutes. And I told the police when they arrived what he had been doing in front of 10 witnesses in broad daylight. And they arrested me because I scratched him during this 45-minute attempted murder to try to get him to stop. I tried to inflict as much pain on him as possible, and it tore my heart out to have to do so. In fact, when I got to the county jail, they sat me in front of a psychologist to just check my state of mind, and I wanted to get it off my chest. I wanted to just tell someone, and someone was sitting in front of me asking me how I was feeling, and I said, the worst part of my experience, being almost strangled to death by my boyfriend, whom I love, was that I had to hurt someone I love. I had to hurt him. And it really bothers me because I've never done that before. Never done that before. Hello. Okay. Those are the police taking a little look-see at what's going on. I wouldn't be surprised if they recognized me by now and would say something to me like, "Oh, are you okay, Annie? What are you doing out of your house at this hour?" But, you know. So, anyway, at the jail, after I finished unloading my burden of horror, not guilt, but horror of what I had to do. I mean, I scratched him, gouged him quite deeply, and there was a lot of blood. I kept thinking each and every scratch was going to make him let go of my neck, but he endured the pain. I'm sure it must have been intense, and I've never inflicted bloodshed type wounds on anyone in my life, and it was horrifying to me. And so they said to me that because I had these feelings, that it was time for me to go to the mentally ill city jail. Oh, it's a mental illness to feel remorse for having hurt someone in self-defense that you love? Apparently, yes. And when I went to the mental health jail, the torture was far worse than anything I had ever experienced. Being that they stripped you naked, put you in a freezing cold room on a metal slab with some kind of, woolen blanket that was awful, and a plastic thing, and had you on suicide watch, so you had to lay naked, freezing to death for hours and hours and hours, and they didn't feed you. And they were shackling me, and when they grabbed me and tried to twist that right shoulder of mine in the wrong position, I begged them to stop, and they wouldn't, so I sort of wiggled a little too much, and they considered that to be resisting the move that they were making of my body. And so 8 full-grown, muscle-bound men jumped on my body and tried to restrain me just for wiggling a little, and it was fucking unbelievable. I have been reading about my rights as a citizen and as a person and as a woman and as a disabled woman, and that kind of excessive use of force is a violation of my rights. It's cruel and unusual. They would defend themselves, of course, with bullshit and excuses. And I have not yet articulated that with anyone. I'm going to pretend I'm talking on the phone so that people won't think I'm walking up a hill videotaping. Well, that's exactly what I'm doing, because I want to see the view. I don't want to show the view to you, basically. People sit in their cars or stand around outside and just look at the view. Oh no, that's great. I'm going to go to the very top. Standing in White Knoll. White Knoll is where the view of the city is. Looks like they might have binoculars. Okay, behind me, the view of the city in all its splendor. Are you looking through binoculars?
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, we're just kind of just seeing, you know.
Yeah, you're chilling like a felon, and me too. Walking and drinking, is that allowed in LA?
I don't even know. It is in Vegas. It shouldn't be here.
It is a what?
In Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas?
So it shouldn't be a lot here.
Oh.
It's just the border that divides us. It's just different rules.
Right.